All right, you sick fucks. Welcome back to the deep dive. Tonight, we're shoving our noses into the glorious shit show that is the MTV Video Music Awards. I think it's all about flashing tits and ass. Think again, because we're about to go on a wild fucking ride through 4 decades of pop culture controversy and some seriously messed up shit.
That's right. We're not just talking about who won what moonman. We're talking about the VMAs as a cultural phenomenon. How the hell did this thing go from a simple awards show to this pop culture behemoth? That reflects everything from music trends to society's ever-growing tolerance for batshit crazy behavior.
Let's cut the crap. Give us the lowdown. When did this whole train wreck start? And what the hell were they thinking?
The first VMAs were held back in 1984 at Radio City Music Hall. The original idea was to celebrate music videos as a new art form. But, also a way for the suits to figure out how to squeeze more money out of music.
So basically a giant circle jerk for the music industry, but with more glitter and cocaine.
Pretty much. But from the beginning, the VMAs had this inherent need to push the boundaries to court controversy. It's like it's baked into their DNA. Take Madonna's Like a Virgin performance in '84, the wedding dress, the bustier rolling around on the floor. It set the stage for everything that was to come.
Seriously, watching that now, it's practically tame compared to some of the shit we've seen since. Remember Britney and Madonna's little makeout session? My grandma almost choked on her dentures.
It's fascinating how they've constantly upped the ante, each year trying to outdo the previous year's outrageousness. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? The VMAs are less about the awards themselves and more about these insane holy shit did that just happen moments.
Exactly. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You know it's going to be bad, but you can't look away. And sometimes these moments spark bigger conversations, like Kanye West interrupting Taylor Swift. That wasn't just some random asshat move. It sparked a whole debate about race respect and the power dynamics in the music industry.
It's true. The VMAs provide this strange platform where these broader cultural issues can play out, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. It's reality TV before reality TV was even a thing.
Speaking of reality TV-worthy moments, how can we forget Miley Cyrus twerking on Robin Thicke like her life depended on it? Rihanna's face was priceless. It was like she was watching a train wreck in slow motion. But that performance, as fucked up as it was, also says something about how the VMAs reflect and sometimes even drive changing social norms.
Right. Think about how VMA performances have changed over the decades. From the early days of rock and pop to the rise of hip-hop and electronic music, you can see how they mirror the evolution of music itself. What's fascinating is how those changes reflect larger trends in the industry as a whole.
It's like looking at a time capsule of pop culture, but a really fucked up, glittery time capsule. And some of those trends haven't aged well. Remember that whole rock revival thing they tried to do in 2002? It was like watching a bunch of dads trying to relive their glory days, but with more eyeliner.
That was a disaster. The Hives were all right, but the Vines dude basically had a meltdown on stage. It was like watching a toddler throw a tantrum because they dropped their ice cream cone.
Okay, but let's talk about some of the arts who actually managed to use the VMAs to their advantage. The Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award, or as it was called originally, the Video Vanguard Award. Some of the recipients are legends who genuinely pushed the boundaries of what a music video could be.
Absolutely. It's not just about handing out a trophy. It's about recognizing the artists who shaped the music video landscape. Michael Jackson himself transformed music videos from simple promotional tools into these mini-movies, with storylines, elaborate choreography, and groundbreaking special effects. It's no coincidence he's one of the most awarded artists in VMA history.
Okay, but some of the recipients are real head-scratchers.
Yeah.
Like Britney Spears. I love her.
Yeah.
But groundbreaking music videos. I don't know about that.
What's interesting is how the award reflects the shifting priorities of the music industry. The early recipients, people like David Bowie, the Beatles, and Richard Lester, were pioneers. They helped establish music video as a legitimate art form.
Yeah, but then you have folks like Jennifer Lopez and Pink getting the award. I'm not saying they're not talented performers, but it shows how the emphasis has shifted away from pure artistry to, well, being a pop culture icon.
Exactly. It's not just about the quality of your videos anymore. It's about your overall impact on music and, let's face it, how much buzz you generate.
Okay, so we've established that the VMAs have gone from a relatively tame celebration of music videos to this bizarre spectacle where anything goes. But here's the million-dollar question. Are they still relevant? I mean, in the age of YouTube and TikTok, does anyone even watch music videos anymore?
That's the big debate, isn't it? Some argue the VMAs are nothing more than a nostalgia trip, a relic of the past. But they still manage to pull in millions of viewers, even if it's just to see what crazy shit will go down next.
It's like a cultural car crash you can't look away from.
Yeah.
And MTV knows it. The more outrageous the performance, the more headlines they generate. It's a symbiotic relationship, even if it's a little fucked up.
Absolutely. The VMAs thrive on controversy and shock value. It's what keeps people talking, even if they're complaining about how terrible the show has become. In a way, the VMAs have become a reflection of our collective obsession with celebrity culture, for better or worse.
So as long as we're glued to our screens, rubbernecking at the latest celebrity train wreck, the VMAs will live on. Depressing, but probably true. But we've only scratched the surface of this shit show. Let's take a deeper dive into some specific moments that made the VMAs infamous, from Madonna's early provocations to Kanye's infamous mic snatching. We'll unpack the events that shaped the VMAs' legacy and maybe even altered the course of pop culture history. Buckle up, kids. Things are about to get messy.
All right, let's rewind back to the 80s, when the VMAs were practically Madonna's personal playground. 1984. She bursts onto the scene with that Like a Virgin performance. Writhing around in a wedding dress and a bustier, it was like she single-handedly flipped off the good girl image of pop stars.
She knew exactly what she was doing, pushing buttons, grabbing headlines, and pissing off parents everywhere. Madonna was a master at using the VMAs to craft her image.
It's true, and she didn't let up. A few years later, in 1989, she's back with Express Yourself, decked out in that dominatrix-inspired outfit. It was basically a sneak peek at her Blonde Ambition tour, which, let's be honest, was like one giant extended VMA performance.
She was a marketing genius, that's for
Yeah.
sure. And she kept pushing the envelope throughout the 90s. That 1990 Vogue performance was pure spectacle. The Marie Antoinette vibes, the dramatic choreography. It was like a mini Broadway production crammed into a 5-minute set.
And let's not forget, that was the year she thanked Pepsi for causing so much controversy. Remember that whole debacle with the prayer video? They pulled her commercial because they got all freaked out by the religious imagery.
That's Madonna for you, turning controversy into pure gold. But let's be real for a second. There's a fine line between being a provocateur and just being straight up trashy. And the VMAs have definitely crossed that line a few times.
I'm with you there. Sometimes it feels like they prioritize shock value over substance.
Exactly. Like, remember Lil' Kim's outfit in 1999? I'm all for self-expression, but a purple pasty doesn't exactly scream artistic statement. It was just attention-grabbing bullshit.
Agreed. There's a difference between pushing boundaries for artistic reasons and just trying to shock people for the hell of it. And sometimes the VMAs fall into that trap. It's like they're constantly trying to outdo themselves, which can lead to some pretty cringeworthy moments.
And MTV is totally complicit in this game. They're the ones who benefit from the controversy, from the outrage. The more people talk about the VMAs, the higher their ratings.
It's a vicious cycle. But hey, that's showbiz, baby. All right, let's move on to another VMA legend, Britney Spears. Love her or hate her, that girl knows how to put on a show. Remember her 2001 I'm a Slave for You performance? The cage, the tiger, the snake. It was pure pop fantasy come to life.
That performance cemented her image as this pop princess who wasn't afraid to embrace her sexuality. Of course, it also pissed off PETA, but what else is new?
And let's not forget her 2003 makeout session with Madonna. The look on Justin Timberlake's face was priceless. It was the ultimate pop culture moment. 2 generations of pop icons locking lips on live television. Shocking, controversial, and totally unforgettable.
But then Britney's VMA journey took a bit of a dark turn. That 2007 performance, it was rough. You could tell she wasn't in a good place.
It was a stark reminder that behind the glitz and glamour, these are real people with real struggles. The VMAs, despite all the spectacle, can also be a platform where those vulnerabilities come out, even if it's unintentional.
Yeah, it was a reality check. But hey, let's not dwell on the negative. Let's talk about some of the more positive aspects of the VMAs, like the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. It's been given to some pretty iconic artists over the years.
Absolutely. It's meant to recognize artists who have pushed the boundaries of music video as an art form. From Peter Gabriel to Beyoncé, the award celebrates visionaries who've used the medium to tell stories, make political statements, and challenge conventions.
Speaking of Beyoncé, that woman is a VMA powerhouse. She's one of the most awarded artists in VMA history, and for good reason. Her performances are always top-notch. Remember that 2014 medley? It was basically a mini concert showcasing her incredible talent and stage presence.
Beyoncé understands the power of the VMAs. It's not just about the music, it's about creating an experience, a visual spectacle that leaves a lasting impression.
She's the queen of the VMA stage, no doubt. But we could go on and on about iconic VMA moments. We still need to talk about the VMAs in the age of streaming and social media. It's a whole new world, baby. Back in the day, MTV was the only game in town. Now we've got YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Hell, your grandma probably has a Twitch account.
It's true. The way we consume music has fundamentally changed. Music videos aren't these exclusive events anymore. They're everywhere. You can watch them on your phone, your laptop, even your goddamn refrigerator if you have the right setup.
So where does that leave the VMAs? Are they just a dinosaur clinging to relevance in a world that's passed them by?
It's a valid question. But the VMAs have always been about more than just the videos. It's about the performances, the spectacle, the drama. It's about those water cooler moments that you talk about with your friends the next day.
You mean like when Kanye stormed the stage and stole Taylor Swift's thunder? I'm still not over that, and it happened over a decade ago.
Exactly. You can't replicate those kinds of shared experiences on YouTube. The VMAs are live, unpredictable, and often gloriously messy.
And MTV milks those moments for all they're worth. They know controversy sells. Look at Miley Cyrus's twerking incident. Everyone was talking about it, even people who swore they'd never watch the VMAs again.
It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it keeps the VMAs in the public eye. On the other hand, it can overshadow the actual music.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like the performances are more about the shock value than the artistic merit. Like, how far can we push the envelope before someone loses an eye?
It's a delicate balance. The VMAs need to stay relevant to appeal to a younger audience, but they also need to maintain some semblance of credibility.
They've tried to adapt. They've introduced new categories like Song of the Summer and Best K-pop to reflect current music trends.
And they've embraced social media, integrating fan voting and encouraging online engagement. It's clear they're trying to find their place in this new digital world.
But let's be honest, the VMAs are probably never going to be as influential as they were in the past. Back then, MTV was the gatekeeper of cool. If your video got played on MTV, you were golden.
Now everyone's a content creator. The power has shifted from the networks to the people. It's democratized, which is great, but it also means it's harder for any single event, even the VMAs, to have the same cultural impact.
So where does that leave us? What's the future of the VMAs? Are they destined to become a relic of the past, a footnote in the history of music television?
I wouldn't write them off just yet. The VMAs still have the power to generate buzz, to spark conversations, to launch careers. As long as they can adapt to the changing media landscape to find that sweet spot between spectacle and substance, I think they'll be all right.
But let's be real, they're probably going to have to pull some seriously crazy shit to stay in the game. I'm talking Kanye running for president on stage, Lady Gaga arriving in a spaceship, or maybe a full-blown celebrity brawl. The more outrageous, the better.
I wouldn't put it past them. After all, the VMAs thrive on chaos. It's in their DNA.
So the VMAs are like a cockroach you just can't kill. No matter how many times the internet tries to squash them, they keep coming back. But will they be around in like 10 years, 20?
I think the key to their survival is that sweet spot we were talking about, that balance between spectacle and substance. If they lean too hard into the outrageous, they risk becoming a joke.
Yeah, no one wants to watch a train wreck every year. Eventually, you just get tired of the carnage.
Yeah.
But if they play it too safe, they become irrelevant. It's a tough line to walk.
It is. They need to find a way to stay true to their roots, to embrace the chaos that makes them unique, but also to showcase artists who are actually pushing the boundaries of music and video.
Easier said than done. But hey, maybe that's the beauty of the VMAs. They're unpredictable as hell. Just when you think you've got them figured out, they pull some crazy stunt that leaves you speechless.
It's true. They're a constant source of surprise, whether it's good, bad, or just plain bizarre.
And that, my friends, wraps up our deep dive into the wild, wacky, and sometimes wonderful world of the MTV Video Music Awards. We've explored their origins, their evolution, and their questionable relevance in the age of the internet. We've laughed, we've cringed, and we've maybe even learned a thing or two along the way.
The VMAs are a reflection of our culture, warts and all. They're a celebration of music celebrity and the enduring power of spectacle.
Whether you love them or hate them, there's no denying their impact on pop culture. So next time you tune in to watch those overpaid, underdressed celebrities stumble across the stage, remember you're witnessing a piece of history, even if it's a little fucked up.
Exactly. The VMAs are a cultural phenomenon, for better or worse. And who knows what the future holds? Maybe they'll fade into obscurity. Maybe they'll reinvent themselves for a new generation.
Or maybe, just maybe, Kanye will finally snap and declare himself king of the world while wearing a meat dress and riding a giant foam finger. We can only hope.
Until next time, you magnificent bastards, stay curious, stay skeptical, and don't forget to have a few laughs at the expense of those who take themselves way too seriously. Peace out.